Let's talk security now. Operatives of the Nigeria Police Force in their quest to tackle crimes and criminality across the country have once again recorded milestone achievements in various areas. Operatives in Lagos and the FCT command have intensified the operational strategies. We are told have successfully arrested several criminals connected to atrocious crimes. They arrested one, Olasende Ejeh, a suspected armed robber and kidnapper at Post Office Sokoko, who disguises as a lunatic to get close to his victims and rob or kidnap them. Another arrest was made along Dolphin Bridge when the police operatives patrolling that axis intercepted a dispatch rider identified as Samson Shino in possession of a locally made pistol and some charms. Well, yesterday, Northern Governors Forum met with security chiefs as well as the National Security Advisor in Abuja. And briefing journalists, Governor of Gombe State, Mohammed Ejeh, did say that the meeting agreed on a mix of both kinetic and non-kinetic actions to secure the release of the kidnapped victims. Sifonesian has details.
It's a race against time for the authorities who are on their toes to secure the release of victims, especially students recently kidnapped in Kaduna and Sokoto states. The meeting of the northern state governors with the security chiefs and the National Security Advisor is meant to determine the best way to handle the issue. After a more than 3-hour meeting behind closed doors, the governor of Gombe State spoke on resolutions reached.
Security is very topical, especially with the recent issues of kidnapping in the northwest. And we are becoming so concerned that we need to discuss, review, and possibly take alternative options to what we have been doing before so that we can have a better result. And already the service chiefs and all other security agencies have been doing their best trying to cover up. So what we need to do is to change style, especially adding with a non-kinetic approach, so that at the end of it, when we join the two, we'll have a better security situation in the country.
The spate of kidnapping in the northern part of the country has gotten to a frightening dimension. Military authorities describe it as reprisals for recent onslaught on terror campaigns. But President Tinubu's directive for the rescue of kidnapped victims remains clear, just as the military authorities step up action for the operation. For now, Nigerians wait with bated breath in anticipation of results. Sifonesian, TVC News.
I'm joined now by security expert and director, Global Peace and Life Rescue Initiative, Melvin Ejeh. Thank you for joining us on the program this evening. What do you make of the recommendation of the northern governors? A mix, or perhaps what they call a healthy mix of kinetic and non-kinetic approach to rescuing the victims of kidnapping?
Good evening, Sifon. Good evening. I think the meeting is timely. I think is very apt. This is a step in the right direction. And I also agree with them that the best solution to get out of this mess is mixed of kinetic and non-kinetic action. The political will is one of the issues that was lacking in the previous administration that didn't do well in terms of security. But I think the coming together of northern governors, National Security Advisor, and all the service chief is going to inject new ideas, new possibilities into the act of terrorism and banditry in our country. For me, I see great hope. For me, I see that Nigeria is going to be restored back to what it used to be. So I think this meeting is commendable. It should be continued. It shouldn't stop at one meeting. It should continue from time to time. Let the governors, who are the chief security of the state, the MSCs and the security chief, continue to rub minds together. And the governors also must go beyond mere speech. They must also be able to implement some very stiff decisions in their various states.
Mr. President was very clear a few days ago when he mentioned that no ransom will be paid. Talk to us about how negotiation works in this particular situation. What is there to talk to the bandits about?
There's nothing to talk to the bandits about. I think these bandits have overstepped their boundaries. They don't deserve any clemency. They don't deserve any mercy. The military should go all out for them. While I also urge some state actors who know them to call them to order. Because we have a president now that have a clear political will, a president that have a clear security mind, a president that meant what he meant, he said in terms of security. So I do not agree that we should negotiate with these bandits. They have overstepped their boundaries. They have embarrassed this nation enough. They have caused us so much pain. In fact, they are one of the reasons why this country is so poor now, because investors are scared of coming in. People are scared of coming to do business in Nigeria. So I don't think there is any room for negotiation. The military must go all out for them and get our people back. Our country needs to be secured. And I think the military, under the current Chief of Defense Staff, have the mind to chase this bandit away. What was lacking, actually, it's not that we have an armed forces that is very resilient, we have an armed forces that is very competent. We lack political will in the last administration. We lack the equipment. We lack the will to tackle this insecurity, and that's why it has lingered. But I think with the coming of Mr. President and his stance on security, we are going to get it right. Why should he negotiate with these bandits who are causing us pain? What is the basis for negotiation? They have overstepped their boundaries. These are people that have embarrassed us locally and internationally. So I agree with Mr. President totally, and I don't think there is anything to discuss with them other than going all out to get our people who are in hostage currently.
So if we're not, doing dialogue, then we're left with force. We heard from the military spokesperson yesterday who mentioned that the victims are kept in a place that is quite difficult to reach. How much of a Herculean task is, the challenge of having hundreds of people rescued from armed bandits?
It is actually a Herculean task, and I think I want to appeal to Nigerians at this point in time that we must understand with the military the kind of situation we are right now. We must also understand in fighting any asymmetric warfare, the more the collateral damage. Sometimes when damages are done in trying to rescue bandits, we should take it. We're trying to rescue this victim. We should take it as God, as an act of God. We should take it as something that must happen. Instead of whipping sentiment, calling the international community, calling the international human rights organization to intervene in such a situation, I think that's not what we need now. If we must get these people, if we must get all the victims that are kidnapped, the reason why the military have been very careful is not because they can't get them. These bandits use these people as human shield. That is what they do naturally, and that's what they would always do. So the military actually has been very, very careful in trying to minimize collateral damage. But one thing we must get clearly, that we cannot avoid it. So whatever happens, I employ the military to go all out and get them. No matter how difficult it is, we should step forward and get these people alive and kill these bandits. They need to be brought down. This country needs to get itself back on its feet. So as difficult as this task is, we must agree, they must go all out, employ every technology to get these people back to the society.
The military talked about foreign collaboration to enhance our intelligence gathering system. I'm just wondering how well you think we've done in that regard. We had BVN, NIN, and then at some point your phone shouldn't work if you have not registered properly. How much of help has that provided for intelligence gathering and the military capacity to track crime of this nature?
It ordinarily would have provided a lot of help, but Nigeria is a country where people don't do their work. Nigeria is a country where we have a lot of collaborators, people who are sympathizers of these bandits. That's where we have an issue. I don't have anything against the former government. I'm actually a lover of President Buhari at a point, but I want to tell you that in the last 8 years, he put us in a lot of mess that we're experiencing today. And we can't shy away from that fact that a lot were not done. So coming of Ashiwaju within these 9 months, he met a situation that is so bad that you need to tackle in terms of this insecurity. Ordinarily, this means we're meant to work. This means we're meant to provide intelligence for our people. This means we're meant to give us the needed intelligence that we need in this country. But unfortunately, it is not so, and I think it's not working. But I think with the coming of the president and the current Minister of Education, a lot to be done to address this issue today.
Again, we're back asking the question of how, were bandits able to carry away hundreds of school children in broad daylight? And then it begs the question of whether there are security infrastructure on ground. So what is the standard practice? There has to be, a police structure in every school in Nigeria, or it's the intelligence we're not getting right to be able to, get force on ground before these individuals are able to carry hundreds of people on foot?
I think I must be very frank with you that the community itself is complicit in all of this act of banditry. The community is complicit because these people pass through several communities to get to their locations. They pass through several people, and nobody could report their movement to the security agencies. Now, the security agencies are human beings who have their blood flowing through their veins like me and you. They are not magicians. They don't have cameras on their head. They don't have drones flying in their brains. They need intelligence to work. What is the strength of the average of the Nigerian military to cover the entire street in Nigeria? It is not practical, it's not possible. That's not going to happen in Nigeria because we don't have such strength, we don't have such boot on the ground to be able to carry out these tasks. So all they need to succeed is incredible intelligence. The Nigerian police are actually ill-equipped. They don't have the know-how. Maybe in that entire community, I doubt the police outpost. You may have a police outpost with just about 3, 4, 5%. What can that do? We have a very large landmass in Nigeria with a lot of ungoverned space. So we need a lot of intelligence, a lot of more boot on ground, and the commitment of our security agencies, of course. That's one of the things that is lacking. So for me, I would advocate for more intelligence. I would advocate for community policing, not state policing as some governors are taking for. The community must own the process of security. The community must be willing to share intelligence. And one of the fears is that when you share intelligence, you give intelligence you give the information to this bandit, and this bandit will come back and kill you. That may be true somehow to some extent, but why don't we try to share the intelligence? At the end of the day, this bandit costs several pains to the community. So the community must step out and enhance its own vigilance. You must be your own security first. Look at how fast this bandit travel. Look at how long they travel. Are you telling me people did not see them? From the military point of view, which I later verified to be true, they got this information very late. This bandit would have gone far. The military can be in every school in Nigeria. It is not their responsibility. As a matter of fact, it's not possible. They can't do it to be in every school. They can't even be in every 10 kilometers. It is not very possible. Where is the strength? Where is the technology? Now, this is where the governor comes in. They are meeting with the NSA should produce more results. What stopped the governors from providing drones? I think they said that's because there are some kind of restriction from office of the NSA. But I think the NSA should give governors, take on some level of fiat to be able to get communication gadgets to their community, to their communities, cameras to their communities, some level of drones to provide intelligence to our security agencies. Otherwise, we'll just be going through one side. But the federal government, as well, with the budget we have in 2024 concerning Nigerian security, I'm sure we're going to get it right. By the time this equipment started getting in, by the time this logistics started getting in, our armed forces and police force are going to be strengthened for better.
Indeed. In the past few years, we've seen the military attempt to endear itself with its host communities with, efforts like medical outreach and what have you. What do you think is still lacking to inspire that trust between military or security operatives and their host communities?
It's just mere sentiment of some people who, political sentiment, ethnic sentiment, what have you. You see, the problem we have in this country is that our people tend to attach our military to any political party that is ruling. You may be in one party, but because the president is from another party, you just hate his military and hate security forces, not knowing that you are doing more harm to yourself. The average Nigerian thinks that every military man belongs to APC, which is not correct. The military is yours. They don't have political party. We have one army in this country, and I think we must work with them. But that is lacking because we have a lot of sentiment against our military. We have a lot of sentiment against our servicemen who are keeping us safe day and night. Why don't we try to work with them? They have tried so much in building schools for the civil populace. They have tried so much in building, in providing medical care. They have tried so much in several aspects of non-kinetic aspects, including giving scholarship to children of civilians to build that confidence. Yet it's lacking, and that's because of political consideration. Naturally, the military are doing their best. Though they have their errors, they may have some of their lapses, but I think they have done their best to endear themselves to the civil populace. The buck now lies with the civil populace who have not been able to trust them, and that's where we have the problem. Until we begin to work together, until we begin to own the process, until we begin to own the military, we'll continue to go around one cycle again.
You're saying that all of us have responsibilities to play here. Yes, good place to leave it. We're going to have to hope and pray that the military will be able to rescue this victim soon and much more prevent future occurrence. Director, Global Peace and Life Rescue Initiative, Melvin Ejeh, live for us and just. Thank you for joining us on the program.